Welcome back to round 4 of the Charlotte Legacy League 1K with Yorion Death and Taxes versus 4-color Beans. Step 7 and Bill will be on the play, leading off on a Tundra and a Ponder. He didn't like what he saw for that Ponder, so he chose to shuffle his library and draw. And we'll see the pass over to Connor here, and Connor will lead off probably on a Plains and pass back over. Alright. Both of these decks are very well suited to play against each other. It is going to be a long, grindy match to get to the end here, but it will be interesting to see. Connor plays a lot of removal for Bill's creatures, and Bill also has quite a bit of removal as well. As long as Connor doesn't play out into like a Terminus or a board wipe kind of thing and plays a little cautious, I believe he'll have a pretty good chance here. Bill is going to brainstorm and pick up 3 extra cards, and he'll put 2 back and see what he wants to do with those. I think Connor can overload Bill's single target removal, but with the Beans deck, they're able to refill their hand pretty easily. There's a Triumph of St. Catherine off of a Miracle. It's a great card. Miracles for 2 as a lifelink and as a 5/5, and then when it goes to the graveyard and instead gets shuffled in, as you can see there on the card text. So, see a Wasteland coming in from Connor, a mana floating. Not much Bill can do with that unless he has a free spell. I guess he could cycle like a Lord and Revealed or something. Connor playing a Samwise, the Stout-Hearted, which allows him to become a ring bearer or place a ring bearer on the Thalia, as well as pick up that Wasteland that he just did. It's a great tool that Death and Taxes recently got out of the Lord of the Rings set to allow them to kind of Wasteland loop you in a way. So 5 coming over from Bill on the attack. Connor's going to take it, no blocks, and then we will be able to see if he's going to loot or anything like that. Bill does have a Prismatic Ending for the Thalia. Something interesting about that spell is, well, Thalia does make you pay 1 additional. Prismatic Ending reads that it's 2 colors, so Bill can actually cast the Prismatic Ending for 1 and then pay the Thalia tax with a different color mana and be able to cast it for just 2 mana as well. Connor tries to play out another Thalia, and it's going to get Force Will from Bill. And there's the Caracas for the Sam, which is going to be really good. He'll be able to start Wasteland looping with Sam. We'll see a block on the St. Catherine and a return with the Caracas. Pretty heads-up play from Connor there. And then see if Bill's going to cycle a Lord and Revealed, getting a Tropical Island. And there is the first Bean. So Beans are in play now. We'll see if Connor wants to Wasteland and Samwise again this coming turn. A little light on lands. There's a Wasteland that we knew he had in his hand. We'll see a Wasteland on the Tundra, trying to keep Bill off of white mana for removal spells. Another Sam, and the Wasteland comes back again. Man, that is really good. The ring is going to tick up to 2 now. So when it's on 2, it's whenever the ring bearer attacks, he gets to loot. So that's pretty cool. We'll see a Wasteland coming from Bill on the Caracas. I wonder if Connor wants to pick that Sam up one more time and try and just keep looping these Wastelands for now, or if he wants to try and advance his board. He does not. So 5 damage over from Bill, putting Connor down to 10. That's putting him in striking range of another one. There is a Murktide that's going to trigger a Bean. Connor's taking a look at what was exiled there, making that Murktide an 8/8. Connor's got some work to do on this board. He did just draw Swords of Plowshare, which is huge, to take out that Murktide. Let's see what else he can do. Swords on the Murktide. No counterspell from Bill, which is good for Connor. He's got a lot of life total to work through, though. Another Wasteland from Connor, taking him off the black mana. And Mother Runes. Alright, so we got a Ring Bearer that didn't attack. Mother Runes that's not quite active yet. And then another Bean. So we got 2 Beans in play now. We get to draw a card off of that. Harkens back to like the Arkham Astrolabe days of just replacing itself, and then also just being an absolute house when it's resolved on the board, especially with the deck built around it. There's no attack from Bill there on the Triumph. I wonder why he chose not to do that. Definitely would have put him in a really good spot. It would have put Connor under pressure to really have to get this board state in line, because he'd be at 5 at the moment. See a loot from Connor off of the Sam, which also can't be blocked by anything more powerful than it as well. So he'll start his descent or attack run onto Bill here. So with one Mom up and one coming available the next turn, that Triumph of St. Catherine is definitely going to be in a tough spot to break through the lines here. So as long as Connor doesn't get board wiped, he seems to be in a pretty good spot at the moment. He's got Rashad and Port and 2 planes out as well, so he can lock up that white mana from Bill during his upkeep. There's a Yorion revealed, drawn for turn. Another loot coming from the Samwise. Finds another planes. I wonder if he's going to let that go. He'll probably play a Rashad and Port this turn, and he's going to be able to tap down both his lands. So the planes in the upkeep more than likely, and then for the draw step, he'll tap down the Trop. Yep. So classic D&T playing with the Rashad and Port gaming from Connor. Bill just keeps finding all those lands, even though he's been wastelanded 3 times, and he's being ported down the whole time as well. It's pretty tough for Connor. He does find another wasteland, which take him off that plains, which keeps that removal in check. So we'll see a swing for 2 and a loot. Finds Cauldron complete. Just going to pitch that away with no way to really get that into play at the moment. Death and Taxes definitely is a deck to be reckoned with now that it has so many new tools to keep cycling through the deck, as well as lots of removal for enchantments and artifacts from the Yorion revealed, Skyclave apparitions for anything that's below 4, and then we'll see a Yorion revealed coming. Let's see if Bill wants to force a will that or anything. He does not, so we're going to lose a Beans here, and then we'll see a tap down on the Tundra, and a draw from Bill. Connor's got this board in a pretty good shape at the moment. Again, just Bill has a Terminus in his deck or anything like that. Connor is a little open to just getting completely board wiped. Beans number 2 or number 3, depending on how you're counting it, is in play now. So any large spells coming out of Bill's hand that cost 5 or more is definitely going to refuel him. Connor picks up an Umtau's Jitte off the top. Probably see a loot here from the Sam. See if Connor likes what he sees or if he's going to just toss what he draws. Looks like another basic plains. He's probably going to just go ahead and bin that. I don't think he really needs the mana at the moment. It is interesting that the Death and Taxes deck is a very mana-hungry deck with such a low CMC. But we'll see Umtau's Jitte come out of Connor and a pass back over to Bill. The nice thing is that Jitte equipped over to the Sam will be able to go unimpeded and just stack up some counters. Eventually, maybe being able to get rid of that Triumph of St. Catherine. St. Catherine is kind of just locked in place at the moment because if he attacks with it, the Mother Runes is allowed, will give pro white, and then Connor's free to attack back with everything. So, in pretty good shape here. Bill's going to pass it back over without any game actions. Connor picks up a Ganjo, which doesn't do much against that Triumph of St. Catherine, but he'll be able to equip the Umtau's Jitte to the Sam and attack unimpeded again while also looting. So, be able to stack some counters onto it as well. So, a trigger from the Ring Bear. Move the Aether Vial to the graveyard. It's like we're going to see a flash in of a Orcish Bowmaster targeting the Sam. So there are 2 Moms available to protect it. So let's see what he wants to do here. He is going to target the Sam, which will allow the Mom to protect it. No Orc will be able to be made. And he's debating whether he wants to block with the Triumph of St. Catherine, which I don't think would be a good idea. So he'll take the 2 damage, and we'll see 2 counters get put onto the GT. So he's going to play the Aganjo for turn, has a Flicker Wisp in his hand, Wasteland on the Tundra, trying to keep him off of white, and then buy into the Yorion. Pass back over to Bill. He's got 4 mana available total. Not much going on the battlefield. Does have a Brainstorm in hand. I think he's just working through what mana he has available to him. We'll see a Thoughtseize. That's a bit tough with it, but it's a Flicker Wisp or a Yorion. I'm sure Bill will probably take the Yorion here, just because it's a bigger flying threat. It doesn't die to a Bowmaster instantly, which is nice. And we'll see a pass back over to Connor. So what he has to draw here. It's like another Gonjo attack. So he's going to loot away that Gonjo and pick up a Stoneforge Mystic. That'll be good for him. I think he's already looted away the Call to Complete this game, if I remember correctly. So he will have a Batterskull available to him, as well as a Lion Sash. Chose to block with the... Oh no, it didn't block. Before blocks, he down-ticked to kill the Orcish Bowmaster with the Umezawa's Jite. And we'll see a Stoneforge Mystic be cast here. More than likely going to find the Batterskull that's left in the deck. He does have a Lion Sash available as well, but I don't think that's really going to play here into what he's trying to do. So he does get the Batterskull. Bill with the Brainstorm. And we'll see a port on the... Alright. Leyline Binding, we see a double trigger off of the Beanstalk. Picks up 2 more cards, and we'll see the Umezawa's Jite taken. It's smart to go ahead and take that, since the Batterskull can be cast for free, or not free, but with the amount of mana that Connor has available to him. Draw from Bill. This is all in upkeep, okay. So, fetch, maybe? No fetch. Bill's in a pretty tough spot here, especially doesn't have a sweeper. Batterskull being able to come into play off of the Stoneforge Mystic, as well as being able to be equipped immediately as well. We'll see an attack and a loot. Picked up a Schadenport and a Field of Ruin. So we'll probably see that Field of Ruin come into play. Just take him off of all the white mana still. Flicker Wisp, interestingly. I wonder if we're gonna... Okay, Force Will and the Flicker Wisp. Interesting. And he does get to pick up 2 more cards. He's basically refilled his hand in the past turn, just based off the Brainstorm, the Beanstalk, double trigger, and we'll see a port down on the white mana. Just trying to keep him off of Source of Plowshare as much as he can. It's like he picked up another Beanstalk or some Wasteland. Jeez. Bill really trying to work through this board state. Another Beanstalk. That's 3. So any large spells at this point will Ancestral Recall every single turn for him. See what Connor has to push on this. Let's pick up an Aether Vial, looks like. Another attack for 2 from the Samwise. So slow but surely just churning through his deck, as well as doing, Snapcaster damage every single turn. He does have the Batterskull available, and it looks like he also picked up a Recruiter of the Guard. So, see a Recruiter. I'll probably go for... Never mind. We'll see a Force of Will and draw 3 cards. Those beans are cooking. So, tough break for Connor there. rearranging his graveyard like a savage in Legacy. I think he forgets. Be interested to see how Bill plays this from here. He hasn't attacked at all with the St. Catherine. I understand why he hasn't. Not to leave himself open, but at the same time, he's not making any headway anywhere. So, I'm trying to port down the white source again, which he succeeds with. Draw from Bill. Another Thoughtseize. And we'll see a Murktide come out. 4 on it, and he'll draw 3 cards. So much card draw from the Beanstalk deck. Past 4 turns, I think he's drawn 2, 3, so he's drawn 8 cards in the past 3 turns. Both people are gonna activate to draw another card. Just trying to find what he's looking for here. Really needs a Caracas to take these Beans offline, or that Leyline Binding. Draw from Connor, another Stoneforge Mystic. I'm sure he's wishing he had that Cauldron complete now at this point. Attack for 2. The Ring Bear's put in work. Pitch is snow covered and picked up another Plains. He's going to be able to activate that Field of Ruin this turn, as well as port down and use the Stoneforge Mystic at the end of Bill's turn. So it's going to be good. Yeah, taking him off of white again. Bill with any responses? No. I think he's going to do a fail to find. Connor will be able to pick up another land. Another 2 mana for another Stoneforge. Jeez. So now we may see a Lion Sash come out. Yeah, that's what we're going to see. So, Bowmaster coming into play, targeting a Mom. Of course, Pro Black on it. And I'm sure he'll respond with, well, maybe. Trying to work through his mana here. Witherbloom Command, okay. Targeting the Mother Runes, as well as probably going to mill 3. Or drain 2. We'll see what he chooses as his second option. So we'll see a Pro Black, Connor, a mill 3, and Bill will probably pick up a Tundra here, and then go for a Source of Plowshare on one of the Moms. Connor reminding me it costs 2 because of Thalia. And a swing for 7 over to Connor, putting him back down to 10. Alright, so we gotta get this Batter Skull running now. One Mom available. He can attack with a Thalia, gain 7. Outrace the Murktide, give it Pro White as well. So he can actually attack for 9 with the Ring Bearer as well. If he equips it onto the Thalia. I'll take his draw step here and see what he draws. He draws another Samwise, but maybe he's going to make some moves here by moving that Batter Skull over to Thalia. Be able to give it Pro White, swing for 7, bring his life back up, as well as attack with the Ring Bearer and give himself 2 additional damage. So it'd be 9 damage, putting at Bill over at 3. Looks like that's what he's going to do here. So Batter Skull on. So he has 9 damage available. He could, well, no, the Orcish Bowmaster could block the Samwise or the Thalia. Looks like Bill's just going to take the damage. I'm sorry, that's not 7 damage, that's 6 damage. I was thinking Batter Skull's a 5/5. Too much Cauldra. So we'll see a port on the upkeep. Alright, so another Leyline Binding. Whew, just can't dodge these things. And the Ancestral Recall coming off the Leyline Binding. targeting the Batter Skull. And Bill has a grip full of cards, too. Connor's really going to have to work through this board. He needs a Caracas now more than ever to get that Lauren back into his hand so he can start working through these leyline bindings. I'll see another attack for 7 here from Bill. Connor needs something to happen here. Bill kind of rolled up with a whole bunch of cards in hand, and Connor's going to make him draw again. Maybe he's going to try and mill him out here. Connor can make a rather large Lion Sash just eating away at Bill's graveyard. And Bill's going to have to go to discard here. Pitching looks like a Triumph of St. Catherine and a Thoughtseize. Interesting, he didn't want to use that Thoughtseize to get that Lion Sash out of his hand. Connor needs to progress his board a little bit more. So, alright, found a Recruiter the guard. That's a start. With a Recruiter, he can go get a Solitude, take out that Murktide, and then he can slowly start working back through Bill's life total. So we'll see if that's what he wants to do here. So, Recruiter resolves, so we'll see what he picks up. It looks like he went and got a Flicker Wisp. He's going to just try and flood the board with flyers. He could also just Flicker Wisp the Murktide, make it a 3-3, and then it becomes more of a fair game. Bill has something to say about that. A Brainstorm. Looks like he found a Plowshare, maybe double Plowshare, and a Ponder off that. So he has answers for it, especially with that Tundra still available to him. So Flicker Wisp is going to hit the Lord Revealed. End of turn, that'll come back into play. Be able to knock out one of those leyline bindings. So that's pretty heads up from Connor. He will get that Batter Skull back, which will now enable him to be able to equip it back over to the Thalia and start gaining some life. So Germ Token for the Living Weapon. And then with Bill having 2 plows in his hand but only 1 white mana available, that is a plus for Connor, especially since he's going to try and port down that Plains or that Tundra early in the upkeep. And Bill is going to allow it. So finds a Prismatic Ending, which could work through some stuff. Bill's just going to go ahead and call it here, and we'll see you in game number 2. If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Back to game 2. Bill's going to keep 6, Connor's on 7. Bill will be on the play. I hope you have joined us after a short break from that first game 1, which was brilliantly played by both players. Connor coming out on top on that. We'll see a Wasteland coming out of Connor and a Cycled Lorien Revealed from Bill. Bill plays another Underground Sea and is going to ponder. He likes what he sees and is going to keep him on top, just drawing 1. And back over to Connor. So basic Plains out of Connor, and it looks like he has an Aether Vial to play. We'll see if Bill has anything to say about that. He allows it to resolve. So he does have a Prismatic Ending in his hand, so that will definitely wipe that Vial right out of play, which is kind of tough, but it is what it is. So that's why we play these games that we play. So we'll see that Prismatic Ending on the Aether Vial, exiling it, and back over to Connor. So finds a Caracas, basic Plains, and let's see if he has a Thalia to follow that up with. He does not. It's just a Mother of Ruins, which basically controlled all of game 1. Let's see if it has anything to say about game 2 here. So 2 mana coming out, and we'll see our friend, the Witherbloom Command, which is the same play we saw in game 1, where he chose to target the Mother of Runes that was tapped at the time. This one has Summoning Sickness. He milled 3 cards and picked up another land. And he's just showing us his land that Connor knows of. And we'll move back over, and there's a Thalia available now, and a Caracas to protect it. It's going to be much more difficult to kill this Thalia, even though the mom is gone. It finds another prismatic ending, plays this land that we've known about, and let's see what else he's got for us. So, anything else in store? Maybe a Beanstalk. He does look like he has a Plague Engineer in his hand, maybe just waiting to get a couple 2-for-1s there. Connor draws a Yorion, but it's just going to swing in for 2, play a basic Plains, and buy his Yorion. Over to Bill. Bill has enough mana. He just needs to get a Beanstalk in play, and he can start truly working through his deck and drawing as many cards as he possibly wants to. Another Prismatic Ending on the Thalia. We'll see that brought back into play, or brought back into his hand. And then Bill's going to follow that up with a Bowmaster while the Caracas trigger is on the stack. Or activation is on the stack, I should say. So with Thalia down and 5 mana available to Connor, and he's going to Solitude. Let's see if Bill has a Force of Will or anything. We'll see that Bowmaster later. And Bill will go up a life. So pretty even parity here on board. Both players are hitting their land drops. Creatures are on board. Hands are being filled. Connor does have a little bit more interaction in his hand. So we'll see a Leyline Binding, which is bad for Bill, great for Connor because he does have that Yorion in his hand with a Caracas available to just send it right back. So that's pretty good. And we'll see that Yorion come out. Leyline get killed, and then an Orc go bye-bye. So pretty commanding start now from the Death and Taxes player. Controlling the board, controlling the tempo of the game. Ponder from Bill, likes what he saw, picks up 1. And is it bean time? It might be bean time. It is not bean time. So we've got some beaters on the board, 5 damage coming over to Bill more than likely. So that's exactly what we see. No responses from Bill. We'll go down to 13 or 14. And Connor and with a Thalia. Well, now that that Plague Engineer in Bill's hand looks a lot better than it did, and there's a Triumph of St. Catherine. So wow, what a pickup! I guess he did know that coming off the Ponder. So is it a really big turn for Bill here? Going back to parity on creatures, Connor's gonna be forced to do something here. He does have the Caracas available to save one of the 2 legendary creatures he has in play. Bill's tapped out with 2 cards in hand, which means he can't force a Will or Daze or anything like that. Doesn't play Daze in the deck, but can't force a Will. So Connor's going to take advantage of that and go ahead and get that Triumph of St. Catherine out of the game completely. And then still on the stack, we'll see the Yorion come back to Connor's hand, and the Thalia goes bye-bye. He does have the Yorion that he could flash, or he could play in and kill the... Let's see if Bill does have it. So Connor was right to read a Force of Will when he Swords the Plowshare. And Bill's going to offer the trade on that attack from the Solitude. Connor going up 3 more life. And we're back at another Triumph of St. Catherine off the top. Wow, that Ponder was really strong from Bill. So we'll see what Connor has to say now. He does have another Solitude in his hand. Bill is Hellbent. And Solitude is the game. So Bill's picked up 10 life in the past couple turns. Is playing Hellbent. We'll see the black mana tapped and we'll see the green mana tapped. So no beans, please. Have a Yorion and a Sam. And Bill has seen what that Sam can do with Wastelands in game 1. So he was smart to take that away. Picks up another basic Plains. Attack for 3. And here we go. So one Hellbent player and 1 player available to at least keep him off green mana at the moment. And a Yorion come in, and then a knockout on the Bowmaster this time. So it doesn't want Bowmaster to get flashed in. Smart on his part for that as well. And then attack for 5. We'll see a Plow on the Solitude. 2 damage. So man, this game is like just a back and forth game. Bill is just drawing all the right answers at this time, and a wasteland. All right, that makes sense because he could flash in a Bowmaster, but he can't flash in a Bean. So we'll see a Brainstorm here, and it looks like he can't quite tell what he has with the reflection there, but another fetch land for him. So as if he's going to fetch in his upkeep. 2 damage coming over to Bill. And untap. He liked what he saw off the top there, so now we'll see a fetch. He didn't like what he saw there. Fresh Brainstorm. There's a Murktide. Oof, that's tough. A Murktide is really good right now. There's a Murktide 5 counters on it, so we've got an 8/8 flyer. Connor staring down an 8/8 flyer with nothing to say about it at the moment. And there's 8 coming across. So this race is in Bill's favor at the moment, if nothing else happens. And there's a Sanctum Prelate. 2 damage over on Bill. Bill can definitely outgrind here. So there's that. It's going to stop him from being able to cast Swords of Plowshare, Brainstorm, and Ponder, so he is now strictly on an all-beans diet. So he's going to fetch and go get a Savannah, another swing over for 8 on Connor. We're getting close here. He's got him by 1 point at the moment in terms of damage. We'll see Connor allow both players to draw a card, and see if Connor found what he was looking for off the top. He did find a Flicker Wisp, which can handle that Murktide, or bring that Murktide back down to a normal level of damage, being only a 3/3 flyer with the Murktide available. We'll see which one he wants to put out first. So he is gonna play a Stoneforge to see if Bill has a Force of Will, and then here comes the Flicker Wisp. No Force of Will from Bill there either, and we'll see that Murktide come back down to a sane level of play. So Murktide comes back into play. Wasteland on the port, and we'll see what Bill has here. So now Bill's actually staring down a pretty tough line here. We'll see a Bean come into play, so he is on that diet, and that's it. And a draw from Connor as a Sam. We'll see a Cauldron Complete come into play. Bill will respond with a Leyline Binding with a trigger of the Bean. Alright. We'll see a Yorion Returned. A Bowmaster in response to the Caracas. A Sam in response, bringing back the Yorion that was just killed. And then the Yorion. Oh, Connor's just saying that he missed his Ring Bearer trigger, and then the Yorion coming in. So that was an impressive play pattern there, and still gets that Cauldron out, and Bill calls it a day. Thanks for watching.
If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.